Listen, it's a pleasure for me to be here today. You know, as Lee said, he said, we were planning to have the two gubernatorial candidates to come and speak to you today. The problem was is you didn't plan on the two of us. You thought it was going to be Arthur and Bradley Byrne. That's who you thought it was going to be. But we just fooled them, didn't we, Ron? What really happened was is the people spoke, not the politicians. And you know what? That's great. Because you know what? The people are the ones that we need to be cared about in this state. And as governor, that's who I do care about. I cared about my patients. I love my patients. I cared about my people in Tuscaloosa. And that's why 88% of them voted for me in the last election. You know, because they know me and I know them and I love them and I care about them. And I do care about this state. I care about the fact that we have over 200,000 people in Alabama right now who don't have a job. 10.3% of the people are unemployed in this state. And that's much worse than the rest of the country. We need to put people back to work. And that is the #1 issue that faces us today. You're part of that. Tourism is part of that. That is a clean way to put people back to work. And we need to promote that in every way that we possibly can. The first thing that I'm going to do as governor, maybe not the first thing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be working on the budget. First thing I'm going to do is find the best people possible to serve in my cabinet. But one of the first projects that I want to do as governor is we are going to have a first-class convention center on the beach in Gulf Shores. I'm tired to go to a medical convention in Sandestin, Florida. I'm tired of spending my money in Sandestin. And whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, or whether you even have your own convention down in that area, that's absurd. We need to be spending Alabama dollars in Alabama. We need to be giving Alabama jobs to Alabama citizens. And that's what I want to do. We have a beautiful state. And I am so proud of Alabama. And I want to make the people of this country, as they look at me as the governor, say, I like that guy. And I like him. And so if I like him, then I like the people of Alabama. I want Alabama to progress in every way. Education. I want us to have good paying jobs. Tourism jobs are good paying jobs. You know, not only is Gulf Shores a treat, because that's my second home down there. We have a place down on Fort Morgan. And I know that I have not received a lot of money from ExxonMobil and BP. Because you know what? I have been an outspoken critic of the visual pollution that I see when I see gas wells as I sit on my front porch. Now, I believe in drilling for gas. But we can do it horizontally, and we don't have to do it so that you have one sitting right there in your front yard, polluting the visual aspect of the beautiful Gulf that we have down there. I am not for a moratorium in offshore drilling. I'm not for that, because that would kill jobs related to building the tankers and jobs related to building the other types of ships relating to the offshore drilling business. So I am not for a moratorium. But you know what? I am for the companies having contingency plans for any emergency. And BP and the federal government both failed. And they need to live up to their responsibility. And I think that we're going to have to force them to as a state. We're going to have to force the fact that they have not lived up to their responsibility. The beaches are beautiful. And I love them. I love to sit there and look at the beautiful ocean out there. Tourism dollars are so important down in that area. Right now, that area of the state is hurting. 20% of the money that we have that come into our economy here in Montgomery, 20% of the money comes from Baldwin County and Mobile County. And right now, we're going to be hurting this next year, primarily because of this oil spill that we've had. But it's not just Gulf Shores. We look up north, and as I toured yesterday, I was in Huntsville, and I see all the beautiful areas up there. We see the mountains in the northern part of the state. We have such a diversity in Alabama, with the mountains in the north, and beaches in the south. But in between, we have a lot of things. We have beautiful state parks that we don't take advantage of, and we need to do that. You know, to put people back to work, we need to look at ways that we can use tourism to do that. How can we put people to work in the Black Belt? Well, we're not going to have biotech industry in the Black Belt. We're not going to have people doing drug research in the Black Belt. Well, what do we have? We have honey, and we have fishing. And you know, let's promote those. Let's do tourism to promote those. Let's use areas of the state, the things that are available in those areas. Let's use those things to promote Alabama. Let's do some out-of-the-box thinking. See, we get institutionalized in government. Government becomes less and less consumer-friendly and more institutionalized and more concerned about perpetuating itself than it does about serving the people of this state. Let me tell you, when I get to be governor, we're going to have an attitude adjustment in Montgomery. And that's going to start with a lot of these agencies. We serve in Montgomery the people of Alabama who pay taxes. And we need to make sure that agencies in Montgomery never forget that. The DOT is one of them. And I can tell you, we're going to start by making it more user-friendly. And so there are things that we're going to do. There's going to be a drastic change when I get to Montgomery. And I look forward to making that change.